What is going on, Vibrant Nation? How's it going? So, today's live broadcast, we're gonna be going over. I'll list it out for you and everything else. So, I'm going to be going over a few things with the story that it's like clarify a couple of things, as well as some current events, such as a live kick streamer going over to Japan and getting arrested, as well as also with Bungie's current state of the game in Destiny 2. And I'll also be giving some tricks about the current game I'm playing, which is Persona 4 Golden. Now, you might be wondering why I'm playing Persona 4 Golden. Well, if you paid attention to this past year, it's actually been a pretty big year for Atlas. And I say that because if you remember towards the end of last year in 2022,
when you defeat an enemy,
Persona 5 Royal was released on the Xbox and the Switch. So that was a pretty big deal because it was the first time that a game ever went outside of PlayStation besides going on PC. So with that being said, beginning of this year, what came out on Xbox? Well, as well as PlayStation 4. Well, Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden was released for both those systems. Granted, I think it was back in 2020 Persona 4 Golden was released for Steam or PC. So, keep that in mind. Now then, with that being said, the main reason why I'm saying it's been a big year besides that is that if you look up Persona 5 Phantom X, I believe is the name of the game, is currently in development. Granted, yes, it's primarily going to be released in China and Japan. Right now it's being looked into possibly being released into Japan, and then possibly to the West. There's no guarantee of it or anything else. If it is released in the West, I do kind of hope it's not a mobile or a PC game. So that way it's like, hey, we can have a chance to play it on consoles and everything else. The next thing is the biggest announcement of this year.
I smell 2 enemies. Beat
Well,
them up.
actually, correction. Persona 5 Tactica is being released next month. So another Persona game. I haven't seen too many videos on it, and I haven't seen too many things for it. I've just seen the trailer for it and everything else. It looks like a tactical, over-the-top game. If anything, I kind of I'm looking forward to possibly playing it and everything else. But that's being released next month. But back to the biggest announcement from Atlas for this year. That's coming out February of next year is Persona 3 Reload. If you haven't seen any of the videos for it, I recommend you go look up a channel called Faz, F-A-Z. He's actually a big Persona video guy on YouTube, and he actually covers quite a bit of Persona. He has some demo gameplay as well as the trailers for it and everything else. Now then, moving on to the big old kick streamer thing, because I think that's a pretty big deal. A few months back, have you ever reached into or heard about a guy named Johnny Somali? I don't know his real name. I'm not gonna try and look up his real name. But if you actually go back to about a few months, you would know that there's a guy that was in Japan. Yes, he was African American, and he was actually being causing a ruckus in Japan. It got so big that people were actually attacking this guy. And you might be asking what he would be doing. Well, what he would be doing is going across on trains, blaring loud music, going to amusement parks and everything, blaring loud music. The biggest music that he was basically known for playing at the amusement park, or at least people watching his stream were doing, was Atomic Bomb. Well, you kind of get the gist of that there. Now then, another thing that's happened is the cause it was because he would actually go out, cause a ruckus, and freaking pretty much just like harass the Japanese people, state racist comments and everything else. Now, before you try to defend this guy and saying that, oh, how can a black person be racist? Da da da. They were oppressed. They're okay. First off, look up the definition of racism, and it's like, you know what? I'll admit, it's like they might have used with the Merriam-Webster dictionary. They might have used the people of a lower class or less fortunate class, but yet it's basically says discrimination or showing discrimination or prejudice to people based on race, ethnicity, and religious beliefs. Well, hey, come on. If you heard the things that Johnny Smiley was saying in the videos to a guy on the subway, there's an issue with what he was saying. Talking about how the atomic bombs were dropped and everything else, and it's like, no, there's a reason why the atomic bombs were dropped. We know this, we admit this, we admit that this was like one of the strongest times, biggest times that America used a big weapon of mass destruction. But at the same time, it was to show show of force from America. It's like, hey, we have this weapon. We're not afraid to use it. We will use it if we need to. Now, what I will say is that it did break military doctrine of not killing civilians, not killing people that weren't involved in the war.
Oh man.
That's the biggest thing.
It's just like Yosuke.
I mean, that's like the biggest thing I have with when we dropped those bombs, if you look at that back in history. Now then, people try to say, oh, hey, black people can be reverse racist. There's no such thing as reverse racism. If you look up reverse racism, it says specifically, oh, you're just sticking it to the white man because they're rich and everything else. I'm not rich. I might be white, but I'm also of Middle Eastern descent. So it's like, you want to try and say, hey, I'm rich, guess what? Now then,
We need to protect Chie-chan right now.
going to the biggest thing that happened to him, he got arrested in Japan. He left Japan, he made an apology with the help of a former Yakuza going politician, as well as frickin'
Don't say anything else like that.
going through and doing stuff. Well, if you look at his apology video, he didn't care. As a matter of fact, before he left Japan, going to, I don't know where it was going after the first time in Japan, China, Thailand, or something like that, you would see him on the street saying, oh, hey, where's the women at? But he wasn't saying women, he was saying the H word to a Japanese woman. Well, It's like clearly he's not apologetic. So with that being said, what you have to do is you have to look at it this way. He didn't care. To him it was just jokes. To him it was just reviews. For him it was just for everything. If you look at his YouTube channel, he's nothing but a big snob. Okay? But he recently went back to Japan. Back in, I want to say, August, beginning of September. He actually ended up trespassing into a construction area in Japan. Guess what ended up happening? Police found him and arrested him. Well, this new camera guy actually recorded him doing this. They also recorded him going into a vehicle that wasn't his, just to eat a piece of watermelon. Okay? And it's just like, why would you do that? There's no point in doing that. There's no reason to do that. Okay? Why would you do that? But it's like Japanese police actually came out and arrested him. They actually followed him live on his feed and everything else. Arrested him live. It's like, what can you do at that point? He was saying, call the embassy, call the embassy, call the embassy. Well, the embassy doesn't handle stuff like that. Believe it or not, the Japanese are actually a very patient people. Okay? I mean, like, as long as you apologize, if it was an accident and you apologize, they're not gonna like force you to like, hey, they're not gonna arrest you or anything for trespassing necessarily. But it's like with Johnny Somali, guess what ended up happening? He did it on purpose. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he had it planned. This was just for kicks and everything else for him. So, why would he do this? Like I said, he was just doing it for kicks. He was doing it for views. He was doing it for something. But what ended up happening was they ended up arresting him. I'm getting off track here, but it's like, I was in Japan. Okay, I was with a buddy. We were actually trying to find a place for us to go relax and have fun. Well, we found what was thought to be the place. Well, we opened up the door and we found out it wasn't the place, so we quickly closed the door. Some guys came and was like, God, they started like yelling in Japanese and everything, and I'm like, whoa, 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 well, thankfully we had somebody that could speak English and translate for us, and was like, hey, we explained, hey, we were looking for this place, this was the only address we had, we apologize, everything like that. And they didn't call the police. If anything, they wanted to try and be like, let's talk, let's do a cultural exchange thing. You're tourists, it's like, it actually ended up being pretty interesting. The place that we accidentally stumbled into is actually a printing company for magazine advertisements, and they were showing us stuff and everything else. We also got to meet some of the models that they use and everything else. Had a good time. But it's like, you have to not mean to do stuff is more or less what I'm saying. They're patient, but they're patient to a certain extent. What Johnny Smiley did wasn't really appropriate, nor was it really plausible to do. So it's like, what can you do?
He's right.
But they ended up arresting him. Right now he's looking up to about, I want to say, to either 30 days to about a year, 3 years in Japanese jail, Japanese prison. In which case, I recommend if you want to find out what's going to happen to him there, hey, look it up on YouTube. There's videos of it, of how American people are treated in Japanese legal system. So it's like, hey, there you go. Now then, moving on to the Bungie issue. If you remember, a few weeks back, Bungie had a big thing with the big glitch, bugged weapons, everything else. Well, following that week, the following week, there was multiple connection issues, getting kicked to orbit, kicked out of the game, and everything else. Bungie actually came out and said they're being DDoSed and everything. Well, I'm willing to say that's could be 75% correct, because if you ever played Destiny back when Trials came out, that was actually known to happen. You would experience a DDoS attack while trying to play Trials and everything else. And they even brought it back when Destiny 2 when Trials of the 9 came out. So it's like, hey, I can believe it. But yet at the same time, I also think it was also possibly what Bungie was trying to do to fix this situation with the weapon glitch, the crafting weapon glitch, and everything else, as well as them trying to say, oh hey, we fixed it. If you want to try to make glitched weapons, go ahead and do it. There we go. Now,
Don't overdo it.
with that out of the way, let's get into the story stuff.
It's just we have to save Yukiko-san no matter what.
Last video I just posted yesterday, I know.
Now that you
Alright, I love the support you guys gave for it and everything else. Support by saying, hey, it's wrong for people to like do this, to like copy and paste and try to work it off as their own and everything.
You need to get your strength back. Then you can tell her.
If you go to one of his videos, you would actually see some people trying to defend him for it and everything else.
Normal.
Well,
Shadows don't attack normal people.
I'm not gonna say names, but if you're trying to like defend this Yuku stories and everything else,
so
hey, I hate to tell you this, but it's like you gotta pay attention to this. If people are posting, hey, he's stealing content, and it's even giving the original creators the names, the channel names of the original creators for the stories, go and look up those channels. See if they're telling the truth first before you try to defend them.
So I'm sure,
because it's like ultimately you could end up embarrassing yourself.
The fog usually, but it's been sunny. Don't worry so much.
Now,
but Yukiko's still here.
For the person that was there, I know I responded to some of your comments on that guy's channel in one of his videos. Hey, I didn't mean to do it to embarrass you. I was trying to get you to see what people were talking about. That's what we were trying to get you to see.
We can't fix.
All right.
If I embarrassed you, hey, I apologize. I'm not going to say your name because I don't want to embarrass you. I don't want to point you out. I know you've seen some of the videos on my channel, and I don't want to embarrass you. Okay? So I'm not going to call you out. If you know who I'm talking about and everything else, so it's like, hey, this is to you. I apologize if I embarrassed you, but I didn't want, I just wanted to let you see, hey, here's what's going on. So, what's up, Super 8964? So what am I doing? I'm currently playing Persona 4 Golden. Okay, like I said earlier in the video, this has actually been a big year for Atlas. Starting with the fact that towards the end of last year, they released Persona 5 Royal for the Switch and the Xbox. And then, again, beginning of the year, they re-released Persona 3 Portable and Persona 4 Golden for the PS4, the Xbox, and the Xbox. I don't know about the Switch, so don't quote me on the Switch. I'm not going to say anything about the Switch in that regard. They also have Persona 5 Tactica coming out next month, They've
Why
also
didn't you
been
whip
working
those
with
out
a
earlier if you had them?
not a Japanese company, a Chinese company,
I made them
and
right
making a
now.
mobile
You didn't
Persona
tell me she was coming.
5
It was
game
all so
called Phantom
sudden.
X.
Huh. So that's the trick. I was wondering
And
how
then
you guys
next
could see
year,
where you were. Hey, is it all right if I keep these?
they are releasing Persona 3 Reload.
So,
So I wanted to play this game
But I'll
as
be
a
back with
background
these
talking
puppies.
video and everything else.
You guys better.
I
Yeah,
will give
don't
some
promise
tricks
each
about
other.
what I do
Nobody
in
goes
this
in
game,
alone.
about
It's
what I
way
would
too
use and
dangerous.
do specifically in this game. I just want to get through the talking points that I said earlier in the video.
If we don't work together,
And I'm almost done talking with those talking points. So,
Yeah. I agree.
with that being said,
I promise to.
hey Super, if I bore you, don't take it the wrong way. I apologize if I bore you. Just let me get through the talking points and we'll get to the tricks I would use in getting through this game and everything else. This is the first playthrough. This is a new game on the PS4 for me, so
so from tomorrow on, we'll try and come here.
just gonna
Hey,
try to do what I can
like being our
and
leader?
show you guys some tricks of the trade and everything else with this game.
You were the first to get this power, and you're way better in a fight
Where
than
was
either of us.
I?
I think it's best
Oh.
for all of us if you set the
Currently
basic
talking about
investigation and you
Iku's
follow
stories. If you're a
I'm cool
subscriber
playing
to my
second, but
YouTube channel, you know that I'm also a texting story creator. Last video I posted, I talked about this guy named Yuku Stories who's stealing content and everything else from other creators. So, hey, but as I said to the one that I might have embarrassed,
I
hey,
had a feeling you'd
don't
say,
take it the wrong way. I just wanted to point out the fact that what you were trying to say wasn't the
not an
right way to
executive.
try and defend somebody. Especially when they just copy and paste the same thing over and over and over again in
I'm
their
with
description.
Yosuke. If you're the
Key
one calling the
takeaways to
shots,
know from
you're
that
a lot
is
more-
that
I'm with Yosuke
if they
too.
are
If you're the one calling the
constantly
shots, my pillow will be a lot more comfortable at night.
Teddy,
copying and
would you
pasting the
please
same
stop
description in the video
talking?
description,
I'm really on edge right now.
it's just there for your looks. That's all it is. Most of the texting story content creators will post some stuff either about the video itself, about the storyline, or what's going on, or thank you for the support of them and their channel. That's why it's like, hey, you want to pay attention to stuff like that. That's a big key takeaway. Now, moving on to the specifics of the story that I think some of you have gotten misinterpreted. So, at the end of part 13, I said that there was a DNA sample taken from the unborn child of Izuku, okay? Or
Okay, and don't
the
forget to
aborted
check the weather forecast. Also, let's make sure
fetus of Izuku's, of Inko and Izuku's child from when Izuku was going through his, you know. So, with that being said, hey, it's a DNA sample. They're using that as a DNA sample. They're taking the DNA from that and putting it into the Nomu. That's what it more or less is. The Nomu is not Izuku's unborn child. It's not the aborted child of Inko and Izuku. It's okay.
That's all.
So don't be get that mixed up, because if you remember in the original canon, the first Nomu that they came across that they took DNA samples from, it was actually proved. They actually stated that it was actually an experiment, an amalgamation of multiple DNA samples, as well as a base DNA sample of what the guy was, of who the guy originally was. So, that's essentially what's happening here. If you're trying to figure out what I'm referencing, if you go back to,
I see.
if you look up stem cell research, what they use for stem cell research is embryos or fetuses that have been aborted before a certain stage. Okay, that's what they use for stem cell research. So it's not necessarily
No,
an unknown thing.
not having a fight.
I just want to get that straight. The Numu is not the aborted child of Inko and Zuko. It's not. Okay, I don't know. I could have probably phrased it better at the end of part 13. I could have probably
Police station.
stated something else, but I'm pretty sure that the fetus was basically being used as a DNA sample to use the DNA of that for the Numu, for the USJ. Again, the USJ Numu is not the aborted child of Inko and Izuku. Okay, that wasn't my intent or anything else. Now then,
Is this lady the one who decides the weather?
I'm not going to spoil what could happen once they do the DNA test
She says it
on the Nomu,
It always is.
because it's like, hey, you know what? No spoilers in that department. I just want to clear that up because, like, hey, you know what? People have been saying, I wonder what's gonna happen when they find out that the Nomu is actually the aborted child of Inko and Izuku from when Inko did this stuff to him. No, don't don't get it mixed up. Okay. Now then, moving on from there. Tricks of the trade with Persona 4 Golden. Okay. Like I said, this is a new game. Not a new game plus, just a new game. Okay. So, take a look at the Personas. What I do recommend doing is taking a Persona and getting them up to level 99. Okay. As well as their stats up to 99, and I mean all of their stats. It's actually pretty easy to do. Just do it with one. I'm gonna focus on Izanagi. As for the skills that I plan on giving Izanagi, I do plan on trying to give him either a physical evade, physical absorb skill, as well as all the biggest attacks of the elements, for example, like Mazio, the biggest group, electric group, fire, group wind, group ice, as well as Megadeo. Okay, you might be wondering why I say that. Well, their group attacks I can actually go through quicker in the game and everything else. Now, how long will it take to get up to level 99 and everything else with the Persona? Well, if you pay attention to shuffle time, there are cards that can say, hey, Persona level up, or, for example, strength up, magic up, endurance up, agility up, luck up. So just pay attention to those during the shuffle time. As for the social links, now of course you can only see I only got 2. Like I said, this is a brand new game. I'm just starting out basically. So with that being said, you want to try to have personas with matching the ones you're going to be going for. Now, I'm actually going to try and get a magician and try to rush through Yosuke's, as well as Chie's, and all the main characters, as well as Marie's. The ones you don't really need to worry about are, if you give me a second here, for this, in regards to this, is actually quite simple. Okay, give me 1 second. I should probably bookmark that. Now, there's multiple websites that can tell you like the best answers to do when you're doing the conversations and everything. The one website that I would actually recommend is rpgsite.net. They actually have all of them pretty well covered. But for the Arcanist, you don't need to worry about having a Persona 4. Let's see here. The Empress Persona, which will be Margit, you just have to get certain personas for certain skills and just show them to her. The Hermit skill with the Fox, those are multiple quests. What else? So, as well as Fool, Star, and Judgment Persona. The Fool is the investigation team that's going to go up throughout the game. Same thing with the Star, which will be Teddy, and then the Fool as well, which is Igor. Those will go up automatically at certain points in the game. So that means that, hey, there's multiple other ones. Okay. Now, for the main characters, you can already tell Yosuke's going to be the Magician. Chie will be the Chariot. Yukiko will be the Priestess. Kanji will be the Emperor. Rise will be Lovers. If you paid attention to her little thing in the anime, or if you played this game before, you'd understand why it's Lovers. Naoto will be Fortune. Other than that, the rest of here are just characters that you can work with on the side. So, the Moon, Abihara. Well, let's go to the character that they introduced with Golden. Aeon, which will be Marie. Once you get through going through Aeon, that's going to give you the Kagura. No, not the Kagura. Give me a second here, I can tell you. Oh man, come on. Kaguya. Okay. It'll give you the Kaguya persona with the ability to fuse it. But like I said, Moon, Abihara, you know who she is. Sun is one of two people, Yumi or Ayane. That'll just depend upon the cultural club you go through. Strength is another two-person one. It's either going to be Daisuke or Ko. So if you want to act like you're playing basketball in the game or soccer. Nanako is Justice. Dojima would be the Hierophant. Adachi would be the Jester. Devil would be Sayoko, which is a nurse. If you want to flirt with a nurse, guess what? You can flirt with a nurse. Death would be a Hizano, which would be an old woman. You have to unlock her by going through the Devil Social Link. Temperance, Area Minami, which you actually have interactions with once you get a job, going through stuff for a daycare. Shu Nakajima, which is the Tower Social Link. He's somebody that you would have to tutor for. So, if this is your first playthrough, I don't recommend trying to go through and getting all of them. Most definitely focus on the main characters your first playthrough, such as Yosuke to Naoto, and then as well as Marie. Margaret, I would say most definitely leave until your second playthrough, because it's like gonna have the ability to create more personas and fuse them more easily. You can work on some of the... You can try to get the Hermit one done. Because like I said, they're just quests. The biggest side quest is going to be for the final Hermit one, which is gonna be you have to catch this Sea King fish or something like that. Now then, in order to max out the star, and the judgment, you have to actually go through and get a true ending game. I'm not going to say any spoilers about that. If you want to know how to get that, it's going to depend upon a certain event that's later in the game. You just gotta say some key answers. Just look it up online. I don't know those off the top of my head, but like I said, work on getting the social links up for the main party. Once you're done with that, of course, you can work on the Fox Hermit as well. You can possibly work on the strength and everything else. But you're also going to be wanting to mostly focus on getting up your stats. And by that I mean your courage, your diligence, your knowledge, your expression, your understanding. You want to work on getting those up to max. You can raise those obviously by either reading books, doing jobs, eating at the Aya restaurant on rainy days, because that actually gives you multiple stat boosts. So just keep that in mind. Going through the game, the biggest thing would be the Reaper. Now, with the Reaper, in order to get the Reaper spawn, it's not like with Persona 5, for example. I don't know about Persona 3 Portable. I never played it, so I couldn't tell you. But with Persona 5, for example, you just have to wait mementos for a bit, wait for it to spawn, you hear the chains, and it's probably floating around somewhere on your floor. In Persona 4 Golden, you have to open up chests. Now these can either be the red chest or the white chest. The white chest, obviously, you need a key to open. Red chest, you can have an enemy pop out of. You need to open up 20 of those. Once you open up 21 of those, well, correction, you need to open up 21. Once you open up the 21st chest, you're going to hear the chain rattle. That tells you, hey, the next chest that you open could contain the Reaper. Some big things with the Reaper is what's going on with the what's going on with the time frame of when you fight them or when you come across them. Now then, people speculate that you can either get the Reaper from a white chest as well as a red chest. No, you cannot get a Reaper from the white chest. It has to be a red chest. It has to be a chest where an enemy can pop out of and attack you. What do I mean by that is that sometimes when you open up a random red chest, you have a chance of getting caught into a battle, and that battle will be a shadow. Well, with the chain rattle, you have about a 50% chance of the Reaper being in that chest. If you open up that red chest and the Reaper doesn't pop out, guess what? It's going to reset it. Well, there you go. You have to open up another 21 chests just to get the rattles down, and then open up another red chest to try and get the Reaper. What I don't recommend on your first playthrough is going through and fighting the Reaper when your levels are this low. Now then, if you do intend to do it, I recommend you put the game on very easy. Why do I say this? Well, I'm not saying this because it's your first time playing. It's because if you look at my current levels, my main character is level 8, Yosuke's level 7, Chie's level 4. Guess what? Super is it daytime by my side? As in where I'm physically at? Yes, it is daytime. I started this video about 40 and a half minutes ago, and that was around 1 o'clock. So, yes, it is daylight where I'm at. Now, another thing is,
You're back.
as I was saying with the Reaper, with very easy, it will give you a continue. The Reaper will wipe you out at these levels. Okay? It will wipe you out. Doesn't matter what skills it uses. It can use an all-out attack, fire attack skill, for example, and it will wipe you out. Now, with very easy, it will give you a chance to continue with that battle. So, can you continue to fight the Reaper in that same battle? Well, yeah, you can. But at the same time, what I'm saying is your levels are low. Your weapons are going to be weak.
Oh.
You're not gonna. This is your first playthrough. You're not going to have very strong weapons.
Yep.
Now, with that being said, when can you hunt down the Reaper? Well,
It's you two.
I would say maybe once you're at least level 20, anywhere from level 20 to level 30, and you're at least at the kanji
The same thing happened
stage.
to Yosuke, right?
Either kanji or rise.
So.
One of
what
those
was
two
it like?
stages in the game.
Huh? How should I put
If you
this?
have one of those two, when you reach that stage, you can possibly hunt the Reaper, because you're going to have a chance to get better armor,
None of that happened when yours
weapons,
awakened, huh?
and just go from there. Now then,
Oh, so nothing happened for you? I
this will
gotta
be... Now
know.
then,
Yep, it's a compliment.
once you get those weapons, yeah, you can start hunting the Reaper. Now, you might be wondering, what's the best way to
If
hunt
you
the
say
Reaper?
so.
And why would I want to hunt the Reaper? Well,
Anyways, what's most
you would want to
important
hunt the
right
Reaper
now is to
because
rescue
if you want the best weapons for each character and the best armor in the game, as well as the best accessory in the game,
Bathroom.
the Reaper is the only place to get it.
Thanks for saving me.
The only time that
Yosuke.
every time that you defeat the Reaper initially with the characters that you're going to have. So, for example, say after the first stage area, which would be Yukiko's, obviously, like you saw earlier in the video, Yukiko's castle, you would get the weapons in the order of the main character, Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko. Now then, say that if you're at the point where you want to hit the Reaper at that point, and you got all four of their weapons, what's going to start dropping after from the Reaper at that point is going to be the armor. Yeah, I'm going to ask her straight out. Ah, courage. Courage is weak.
Oh,
So,
right.
it's going to be the armor. Once you get the armor for all four people that you currently have, the main character, Yosuke, Chie, Yukiko, that's when you're going to start having a chance for the accessory to drop. Now then, the chance for the accessory to drop is
Have to be
pretty
careful with the
low.
fog that sets in
So
after
it's
the
going to take
rain,
quite a
right?
bit of farming if you want that accessory. But the best place to farm the Reaper is actually Yukiko's castle, believe it or not. So, with that being said, some of the items that you're going to need let's see here, would actually be it's beta. Is actually going to be a Goho M. You're going to need a Goho M for this. What does that allow you to do? Well, it allows you to exit from the current floor of the dungeon you're in. So, for example, if I'm on the 5th floor of Yukiko's castle, it will take me from the 5th floor of Yukiko's castle to the entrance. Excuse me. Now, you might be wondering why I say this. Well, the 5th floor of Yukiko's castle is part of the hunting algorithm for it. Of what I'm going to say. So, with that being said, the 1st floor of Yukiko's castle is going to be another part of it. Now, let's see here. Do I have any subquests? Nope, I do not yet. Yeah, if you're wondering why I'm using subquests, that's going to be part of the next run through as well. That we'll talk about. But we'll get there momentarily. Continuing on with the Reaper. Okay. Remember what I said. The 21st chest, you will hear a chain rattle. Okay. Guess why the reason why you want to use the 1st floor is because the majority of the time, about 90% of the time, the 1st floor spawns. Oh, I love this game too. I remember, I'll be honest, I first played it on the PS Vita, and I fell in love with it. I know I played it a bit. I want to say I might have played it a bit on the PS2, but of course I'm talking about the original version. But don't quote me on that, because I can't. The biggest time that I know I got into the Persona games was when this came out on the PlayStation Vita. But going back to the Reaper hunting method, like I said, 90% of the time there will be 4 chests on the 1st floor. So each time that you go into the 1st floor, you open up those 4 chests, hit the sub menu button, which on the PlayStation will be square. If I remember correctly, on Xbox it'll be X. You will see a thing called return to the entrance. I'll show it to you here momentarily, because guess where I'm about to go. Yes, I'm about to go back in there. Now then, what you want to do is primarily go through and do everything for the dungeon like on the 1st day. Because what that would do is allow you to open up those days following up for the social links and everything else.
Alright.
So, this way it's like, oh hey, you can get that done out of the way, you can rescue the person, there you go. Now then, moving on with the Reaper. Okay. Moving on with the Reaper hunting method. I mean, it's like I just want to tell you guys about everything else. I don't want to get there. Okay. Like for example, it's going to reset. See, it gave me 3 Golems. You can buy those from the store. From the old woman at that one store. Oh man. The item shop. But give it a second here. No, I'm not gonna fight the Reaper. This is a brand new game. If this was a new game plus, I would king you. But it's like I'm just going through the hunting method right now because it's like, hey, you know what? I've seen some posts about the hunting method and everything, but it's like, hey, I'm at such a low level, and if you look at my items, my equipment, it's not the best equipment to go hunting the Reaper with. So could I hunt it right now? Yeah, I could, but if you guys were to watch me fight the Reaper when I'm at this stage, oh man, I actually tested it out before at this level on a brand new game, not a new game plus. Ooh. It took me about 2 hours to defeat the Reaper. Oh, I know I wouldn't survive it, Kingu. But yeah, the neat thing is, though, if you do feel gutsy, what's up, Ryan? How's it going? If you do feel gutsy, like I told people, let's see here, is I'm currently on very easy. Okay. So if you look at the difficulty settings, you can see with very easy I have retries in dungeons and retries in battles. What very easy would allow me to do is if the Reaper killed me, I would constantly be reviving. But yet even then, if I was to use that neat little thing, it will still take me 2 hours to beat the Reaper, because I would constantly be getting killed and one-shotted. Obviously easy, you have retries in dungeons, but you don't have them in battles. Normal, same thing. Hard, same thing. Very hard, you don't have any retries. I am now on Resident Evil 8. Oh, you're on Heisenberg, Ryan. Oh no. But yeah. So, have fun with Heisenberg, Ryan. That's all I'm gonna say. But back to this. I'm just going over the steps of how to hunt the Reaper because, like I said, I've seen so many posts. Some of them have been wrong. So, going over it real quickly. Okay. You have to open up 21 chests to get the chain rattle. Once you hear that chain rattle, the next chest you open has a chance to be a Reaper, or just a regular chest, or a regular shadow that pops out and attacks you. Okay, so there you go. The method that I'm going to show you is that if you're on the first floor, but you have a 90% chance of having it spawn with 4 chests. Once you go through and open up the chest, oh, Kingu, I'm not judging you, man. Like I said, I currently have it on very easy. I can't remember if there was a. Are you at Ryan? Are you at the part where you're about to find him, or is it the part in the church and you gotta slide down and run? But no, Kingu, I'm not judging you, man. I'm not judging you. Okay, trust me. Like I said. Oh no, not west. Okay, so you're in the factory. Okay. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Like I said, I have it. I currently have it on very easy. And with the weapons that I currently have, it's not gonna. I'm not gonna stand a chance. It's gonna take me about 2 to 3 hours just to kill the Reaper the first time with these weapons. And if you look at my character's level, my character levels is like, come on. That's why it's like, that's what I'm saying. If it's a brand new game way too, either at Kanji's or Rise's, that way you can get better weapons, better armor, and you can level up your characters and your persona that you want to level up. Now, back to the first floor bit. You have 90% chance of it spawning with 4 chests. Once you got those 4 chests, just hit square for example, if you're on the PS4, and go to return to entrance. Once you return to the entrance, like so, it'll ask me if I want to go back to the entrance, which is where the TVs are at. Just hit don't return, go back in, and the floor won't change. It'll be the exact same floor. So for chess, go till you hit 20. Once you hit 20, go up to the 5th floor. So for example, if you used to go hem on the 5th floor, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but go ho em, the potion that allows you to escape from the dungeon. Okay, you would want to return to the entrance from the 1st floor, and then go through and one more. Ah, yeah, to be the chest key, huh? Since I already own that angel. Okay. So, and then you go up to the 5th floor. The reason why the 5th floor is key is the 5th floor will never change. The 1st floor might, once you leave that floor and go to a different floor, but the 5th floor will never change. There will always be 2 chests on the 5th floor. So you would open up the chest, and then go through and the first chest you open up would be the chain rattle.
Don't get careless.
Second chest would be the one for the Reaper. Now then, the one little bit that I've got to mention is that once you return to the entrance from opening 20 chests on the 1st floor, you would actually go back to the main entrance, where the TV stack is at, access that save, make a save, and then go to the 5th floor. So that way, if you don't end up running into the Reaper, you would actually end up going into reloading that slave, going back into the 5th floor, and doing it over until you get the Reaper. That's the Reaper hunting method that works. That's the easiest, that's the quickest. Now then, yes, you can go through and randomize, but you can go through, count the chests, make sure you open up the red chest. The reason why the chest count will reset oh, Mara. I think Mara was a tower card. I know what you're talking about, Ryan. You're talking about Mara. Ugh, don't remind me of that one. It's like, and honestly, I thought the same thing. I haven't gotten that one unlocked yet. Like I said prior, this is a brand new game. Not a new game plus or anything like that. But okay, back to the chest count reset. The chest count will reset once you hear the chain. So basically, it's like this: you open up 21 chests, you hear the chain.
There are 2 enemies. Hang in there.
You open up another chest, that resets it. You either get the Reaper or you don't. Even if you open up a white chest, a chest that needs a chest key, it will reset the count.
How about that?
You go, and another way that it'll reset is if you hear the chain rattle after opening up the 21st chest, and there's no more chests on the floor that you're currently on. You go either to the next floor up or the floor previous. That will reset it. And again, if you hear that the chain rattle and you leave the dungeon, that will reset the chest count as well. The main reason why I'm saying it's like, hey, once you get a chest that says, hey, I have 4 on the first floor, is because it'll make it quicker. So for example, if I run the first floor 5 times with 4 chests each, what am I going to do? Okay, Ryan, I hope you have a good day. Good to see that you're still there, dude.
Yosuke pounded an enemy.
Okay. So say if I had 0 chests open up and I got first floor, hey, open up 4. Do that about 4 more times. There we go. I got 20 chests opened up. Then if I have the 5th floor point saved from using a Goho Hem on the 5th floor, I would go and save after you running that first floor 5 times. And then go to the 5th floor, open up those 2 chests. If I don't get the Reaper from opening those 2 chests, I will go back and just I would go back and reload the game, reload the save, and go back and do it again. That's all I will do. So to prove to you that it won't change. Notice I didn't go up to the 2nd floor from there. I was still on the 1st floor. So no, I don't want to return to the entrance. Now if you pay attention to where the chests were at last time, hey, you know where to go. Advantage mine. Yay.
Work, Sensei. That's one
Proof right here this is a brand new game. It's like I'm getting trophies left and right. Oh man, just keeps on it. I'll build up the endurance. So if you keep in mind, I just opened up 4 chests. And the chests are going to be in the exact same locations. Shadows might be in the same locations, they might not be. So just keep that in mind.
Good work,
So
Sensei. That's 1 so far.
now,
Took forever.
with that being said, I'm just doing this real quick to show proof, hey, the 1st floor doesn't change unless you go up to a different floor. So, at some point I might hear the chain rattle on and I might run into the Reaper and I might be like, no!
Two enemies ambushed you.
If you're trying to get like all the achievements on the Xbox or the trophies on the PS4, for example, very easy might not be the way to get all of them. I think one would be hearing the multiple lines of Rise. That one would be the most difficult to do on very easy. So keep in mind, open up 1. It's gonna be 1 all the way down here. And then remember there was 2 down this way. So open up this door. No, Shadow, no. Okay.
There are 2 enemies.
Now then, if this was a New Game Plus, I would say, hey, go ahead and do it. You're still gonna just make sure you're very easy as well for that. And I say this because you're gonna have a persona, like for example, say if I had an Izanagi on my, this is my 2nd playthrough and I had a beefed up Izanagi, that would actually boost up my stats for my main character. I mean, on the Xbox I have a maxed out Izanagi with the setup that I said earlier. And then it's also like with the skill set I mentioned earlier in the video. And it's pretty powerful. I'm not gonna lie. And like I said, that's the base Izanagi. That's not even the full. The world Izanagi. So, like I said, that method right there with what I just showed you, with the first floor being the same, just going to the beginning of the dungeon and going back in. As long as you don't go up to the second floor from there, or to another floor, that will never change. That will always have 4 chests. The chests will be in the same locations, everything. You do that about 5 times, get through 20 chests, go up to the 5th floor. And then open up those 2 chests. You open up one of the chests, you're gonna hear the chain rattle, and then the second chest will be your chance for the Reaper. And again, why do you want to hunt the Reaper? Because the Reaper's going to give you the best weapons and the best armor and the best accessory in the game. So, just keep that in mind. Again, if it's your first playthrough, wait until you either rescue Kanji or Rise and then try and do it.
No! Where's the real Yuki?
Man.
Hey! That...
Yukiko's thirsty.
So it's... But I don't think the real Yukiko...
Looking for Prince
show us
Charming.
something.
Yukiko's thirsty.
This is a lot
She
more...
thirsty.
Hey!
So, just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Now then, like I said, I'm gonna go through and whenever I have to rescue somebody, I'm always gonna go through the dungeon on the first day. Open up as many chests as I can. If I run into the Reaper, it's like I'm either gonna escape or fight him, because like I said, at this point on a fresh game, it's pretty much empty. Son of a gun. Hey board, how's it going? So, if y'all don't know, I just opened up chests, and if you hear that chain rattling, that means the next one I open might be a Reaper. Now then, there is a nice interesting thing that they have. It's called the SOS. You just hit the option button. And there you go. Now then, once you hit that, you're gonna be able to see something that says send aid or something like that. What does the request do? SOS request do?
I smell 2 enemies.
Well, if somebody sends you aid, they're gonna be able to so for example somebody sent me aid, I would have had like HP MP boost. Son of a gun. I've got to make GA do direct command. So I prefer direct commands because, like, hey, you know what, this gives me a reason to like actually get involved in the game. Act really, they just act however they want. Full assault, all attack, conserve SP. Hey, still attack, but they're conserving their SP. Heal and support. Obviously, they're healing and supporting you and using buffs. But like I said, I prefer the direct commands because, like, hey, it lets me choose how I want to go. 2 enemies. Oh no.
1 enemy. Fight! Fight! Fight!
Not going down.
Now then, So now the next thing you might be asking is, see this is send aid. I just sent aid. Of course I activated that because like, hey, Mass Quest was activated. Let's see what happens. So I will show you guys exactly what will happen with this Reaper if you fight him at the point where I'm at right now. Meet the Reaper.
This one's dangerous.
Obviously he goes first.
It's not going down.
Now you see I'm only heading 22. What am I missing? Now,
No, Sensei.
of course,
Sensei, get out.
obviously I can retry and battle again because like I said, I'm on very easy. It will re-heal your characters and everything else.
Chie-chan's hurt. Someone
He
help
does
her.
go through.
It's not going down.
He's either going to use insta-kill attacks or the weakness of the characters.
Yosuke's hurt. Someone do something. Get up,
Yeah.
Sensei. Someone help.
Even if these characters were at level 99, the agility would be crazy.
Someone else's turn.
Now then, it's always going to go in this element status, so say if I had Yukigyo, for example,
Sensei.
it'll be fire, ice, wind, well, sorry, fire, ice, lightning, wind. The only thing that might change with that would be is if he's charging up the attack to boost it,
Get up, Sensei.
or
Someone help.
using the insta-kill attacks. You see, he's gonna constantly be doing this too.
Yosuke's hurt. Someone do something.
So, oh yeah, exactly, Kingu. So,
Okay, I'll look for an opening for you. Get up, Sensei. Someone help.
I'm just gonna escape this. I just wanted to show you guys how tough it is to fight the Reaper at this point. We're starting a fresh game, not a new game plus, a fresh game.
Someone help her. Yosuke's hurt. Someone do something.
I know I have something that can make me escape, help me escape, yes. Haha! Screw you. I'm out of here. Now, like I said, this is something that you would want to do at a later stage if this is a brand new game. Not a new game plus, a brand new game. So just wait. If it's a brand new game, just wait. If you're wondering what I'm talking about with the Goho M, this is the Goho M that I'm mentioning. This allows you to leave the dungeon from any floor. So let's see here. I think I prefer to use the skill. So, see that hand? You see it? You see it? You see it? You want that hand! You want that hand. You want to kill this thing.
Beat the stuffing out of it.
You want to kill it. Oh yeah.
Someone else's
But the
turn.
reason you want to kill this
couldn't quite.
You probably know why I say this.
Someone else's turn.
It's primarily because you get a massive experience and XP boost from it. Why do you miss?
Someone finish it off.
Don't run, just don't run, just don't run. See, 1,500 experience, 10,000 yen.
Hey, congrats.
Yeah, you get a lot of money. Now, that does go up for each dungeon, so just bear that in mind. Goes up for each dungeon, for how many's there. For example, just that one alone, for this dungeon, I have 1,500 experience. So just keep that in mind. If you see a hand, you want to chase that fucker. You chase that fucker down and you slap him. Of course, you could also have him pop up from a chest. So just keep that in mind. Let's see here. Okay, I do still have a bit of more to go over. Now, some of you might be wondering, hey, how do I get more weapons? Like, different weapons and everything else. Well, that's where the shop comes in. If you saw where I was shopping by the weapons earlier, there is a thing. So, like, for example, hey, see, like I said with the SOS, gave me health and MP back.
Attaboy, Yosuke. You're in
The blacksmith, the antique shop dealer, the old guy, he's where you get your upgraded weapons and everything. However, there's a catch. Okay? It depends upon what you sell them. I do need a chariot. Okay, so for example, you see the two items I have. If they're like, for example, the idea paper and wonder cloth, with that symbol right there to the left of them, those are items you want to sell to that guy. Because depending upon how many you sell to him, he will give you upgraded weapons and armor. Now you might be asking, when can I sell these? Honestly, if you want to get some as soon as possible, it's your first playthrough and not a new game plus. Obviously, you want to sell them after each dungeon. And then there's something you can do before each dungeon, but I'll go through that as soon as I'm done with this dungeon. But you want to sell those, for example, like the idea paper and the wonder ball. You want to sell them as soon as you're done with this dungeon, for example. You get new armor, new weapons, new accessories. Yeah, I'll be honest, I never played Persona 3 King, so I couldn't say too much about it. But, I heard some stories about it.
I smell 3 enemies.
Now then,
Don't get careless.
you see that's a hand, right? That's not the rare monster, that's just a regular monster right there. Don't worry. You can just straight up kill the guy.
Hey, Yosuke scored a critical
You're not
hit.
gonna get boosted experience or anything like that
Attaboy, Yosuke. You're in the zone.
for killing that hand. It's not a
Great,
rare monster.
Sensei. Go for broke.
How is that?
Now, you see, this is the white chest I was talking about. This is the chest that you need a chest key for. See, I can't unlock it. I don't have a chest key. Those two still count for the 21 chest. The only difference between the red chest and the white chest is the white chest does not have a chance for a Wood Reaper to pop up. You have zero chance for that.
Yosuke pounded an enemy.
That's not the Gucci hand version. No, that's not the Gucci hand version. I just want to kill this thing.
So who's next?
See, look, I just killed that thing, and look at my experience. It's only 110, not 1500. No Gucci hand. So, but like I said, you want to go through, try to go through dungeon day one. It's first day you can. And I say this primarily because it's like you want to use those days after you go through it to build up your social link. And why I might be saying, you might be wondering why I say, hey, work on the main party, the main character and the other characters. Let's see here, can I? Ooh. Get a strength. That, son of a gun. Now you might be wondering why I'm focusing on getting personas. It's because the more personas you have, the more you can use for fusions. Okay. Ultimately, for each social link that you max out, there's going to be an ultimate version of persona. For example, like I said with Marie's, the Aeon social link. It's the Kaguya. If I remember correctly, Kaguya was the one that was introduced in Persona 4 Golden. Yeah, sure, you can get it in Persona 5, but get it in Persona 5 as a free DLC or free until, yeah. But yeah, you can also fuse it.
Some thick skin.
3 enemies left.
Ha! 2 more to go!
I want to get this down.
Yosuke's on the warpath. Keep it going.
So, it's like, hey, there you go. Now then, let's see. 20% is not dark. Ah, not that one. I got a chest key now, yay. So, if you do get the chest keys, build up the chest keys. The chest keys. Because when you go to farm for the item, the chests and everything else, it will help you.
I smell one enemy. You can
If you just build them up. Now, that's fine, King. Go ahead, go to bed, man. It's 12 a.m. Hopefully I'll see you again as well. So, now then, if you want to build up money, hey, there's money. There's cards that give you extra money and extra experience. Obviously, you can see with the money I got 1, and with the experience I got 2. Okay, the higher number of the card, the more the boost is going to be. So that's something to keep in mind right there. If you want to try to get a sweep, of course you want to go with the thing that's 2 or more. Thing is though, if depending on what you're going for, if you're going to build money, you don't want to use the half money. If you're going to build experience, don't get the no experience or half experience. Those will actually negate you, even if you get the money up card. But what the sweep bonus will do is that every shuffle, it will give you an automatic boost with 3 tries left. Now then,
Hey, congrats.
there are some times when you can get the half money just to get that 2 more. But yet there's a card that and still not get that effect of having the money that you get for it as a reward. Why do I say that? Because there's a card that will actually be like card earned. So say if you selected that 2 more cards for and has some money. You select that card, you get 2 more, then you select a lose earned card. Normally that would be a 1 more, and it will take away that half the money card. So just keep that in mind. Now then, as for any other suggestions for a run through, the moment you are able to grab quests or side quests,
I smell one enemy. You can do it.
make sure you grab it. Okay.
Just one enemy left.
Someone finish it off!
So
Yikes! Reinforcements.
why do I say make sure you grab it?
It's not going down.
That's because say you go into
Sensei, go for
the next
broke.
dungeon to clear it out. Before you go into that next dungeon and clear it out,
Yikes!
the side quests that you
Reinforcements.
get
We were nearly done.
will be pertaining to the previous dungeon.
2 enemies. Charge through them.
Okay, so for example, I cleared out Yukiko's castle. All the subquests pertaining to it will be regarding Yukiko's castle. And remember, I got a clean sweep. Guess what? I got 3 tries. Hold that personal luck. So, again, if you pay attention to the skill card, it gives you a skill. The higher the number, the better the skill would be. It's just the same thing with the money and the experience boost cards. Now then, why did I grab that skill card? Well, the main thing with Maria is she's going to be a skill card person. I say this because you can give her the skill cards, so once you do, she's going to register them, then you can buy them to be placed on your personas. So just keep that in mind. But back to the subquest. Okay, they will all pertain to Yukiko's castle. So say I cleared Yukiko's castle, and I'm going to the next one. Subquests pertaining to that. I would grab those subquests, go into Yukiko's castle, get the items that I need for the subquest, and just work on it. That's gonna force me to have the money anyways, oh well. So, just make sure that you do that. Now at the same time, it's also a good way to try and raise your level and everything else. And it's like, during that time, say if you're feeling gutsy, you hunt that Reaper down. Hey, you can use the method I talked about earlier.
One enemy. Now's your chance.
So just make sure you do that. I had to have experience. So, just keep those things in mind. Soul drop. So if you're wondering what the items that I currently have, like these are currently do, you can just go to the item, highlight it, And just press square, it'll show you what it does. For example, medicine restores 100 HP. Soul Drop restores 10 HP, SP. Snuff Soul 50 SP. Go Helm, like I said, allows me to leave the dungeon. Vanish Ball allows me to escape 100%. Peach Seed restores 20 HP. Life Zones 30% of allies max HP. 5 Obedience allows me to revive an ally and restore 50% HP. Haryana cures all ailments. Chest Key obviously allows me to open chests. Now you can grow vegetables and buy them. Skill cards. This is useful and very needed, so I'll go into that later. Velvet Key. You know, like I said, these are items that you want to sell to get more weapons and armor and accessories to be able to be purchased. Like I said, I'm going to be building up those chest keys.
I smell 2 enemies. Beat them up.
So, the schedule of the series, I plan on Deku, Melissa. I plan on releasing a new part to the series every Tuesday. That's what the community originally voted on and everything else. That's why it's like, you know what? Since I waited for my tablet to be repaired, oh, I guess I might as well say that. Man, you folks get a laugh out of that. But main reason why I didn't post last week of the neglected Deku Onimusha was because I had to send my tablet in for repairs, and then once I got my tablet back, I had to make sure everything was set up properly and everything was good to go, which actually allowed me to post yesterday on Tuesday for part 14. I'm currently working on part 15, so, and once I get done with part 15, that's posted, I'm going to go back to working on Villain Rehab Deku up till either part 5 or part 10. No, every week is not a different story. Originally I was going to try to rotate it, but since right now everybody wants the neglected Deku series, I'm going to focus on that till at least part 15. And like I said, once I get to part 15, I'm going to work on Villain Rehab up to either part 5 or part 10 before I continue on that, to do the neglected Deku Onimusha, or go from there. Blue Crown. I never heard of Blue Crown.
I smell 2 enemies. Beat them up.
Someone else's turn.
Let me see here.
2 enemies left.
They're on YouTube, right? Oh, okay. I think I might know what you're talking about. Give me a second here. Blue Crown. Okay, so he's a whatever, okay. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, so I see how he does his videos. I mean, Yeah, let's see here. Take a quick look. What he's done here so far. Ghost Rider, Reincarnation Drama. Yeah, he's got some pretty good ones. Good ideas here. I'm not gonna say that I'm going to use any of his ideas, but it does seem like he has some pretty good ideas. The reason why I say that is because Deku and Niji? I'm guessing that's a Nezu female thing? I don't know, I'll look into it. But
swatting them left and right.
Some thick skin.
Just one enemy left.
oh, I got a lot of ideas. I mean, if you haven't seen the preview playlist, ooh. I got a lot of ideas. I mean, one of the things that I try to do is also during the week is if I'm not too focused on working on a part, like for example, I'm trying to focus on part 15. I think I might have seen a Deku as Blue Beetle. Don't quote me on that. I think. I can't remember for sure if I have or not. Whew. Okay, I hate this floor. I really hate this floor. Y'all have fun out why I hate this floor in a second.
There are two enemies. Hang in there.
But frickin'
Chie-chan is swatting them left and right.
Some thick skin.
where was I?
One enemy. Fight. Fight.
Like I said, I just can't remember 100% if, like I said, I think that I might have seen a Blue Beetle one. Don't quote me on that.
Going down.
The main reason why you don't see any Blue Beetle is because Blue Beetle isn't really a well-known superhero in a sense, which is kind of unfortunate and everything else. You mainly see Blue Beetle for like Young Justice, Teen Titans, stuff like that. So that's the unfortunate thing about it. So and I'll be honest, freaking the main thing about it is you want to try to most people want to work with what they know. Like for example, with my neglected Deku Onimusha, I know nobody's really done it before. But at the same time, I feel comfortable working with the Onimusha bit because I love the heck out of that video game series. Like I bought Onimusha, Onimusha 2, Onimusha 3, Onimusha Dawn of Dreams, Onimusha Blade Warriors. It's like,
Someone else's turn.
that's how I do Onimusha was. I think the only one I couldn't find
Two more
a
enemies.
copy
You
of
got it
was
right, Tight.
Onimusha Tactics. And I think that's for like Nintendo SP or something.
Someone else's turn.
Have I thought about a Tony Stark neglected Deku?
Uh-oh, you
I have thought about a Iron Man Deku.
One enemy. Fight.
Like some
Fight.
thick skin.
I have thought up an Iron Man Deku.
Sensei.
It's not neglected, but I have thought up an Iron Man Deku.
Oh, Sensei's back on his feet.
And I do think that if I was to like make it go through and whatnot, if I was to make it, I think everybody would get a laugh out of it. You would love to see a Tony Stark neglected, an Iron Man neglected Deku? Is that what you're saying?
You did it, Sensei.
Okay. I think there might have been a neglected Iron Man Deku. I want to say I've seen one. Give me a second here. Because now you got me curious. Well, to be honest, first off, if you're trying to base him off Tony Stark, it's going to be kind of hard to do. Because let's be honest here. If you want to do a neglected Tony Stark Deku story, it's going to be kind of hard. Okay. Now then, the Iron Man one. If you base it off him being like an Iron Man type deal and whatnot, just being smart and everything, then that's a different story. Let's see here. Because if you try to involve the aspect that he's a rich millionaire, the best versions that you're gonna find with that would be a cheated Deku series. Okay. I mean, I would honestly have to look into it more for the neglected side of it. See here this week. That might be an easier way to do it for a neglected Deku. That's for sure. But oh man, those starting to get dry. But like I said, the 9 times out of 10, the best ones, in my opinion, that you would find would be the cheated on, which is actually the idea that I have for the Iron Man Deku series that I thought up, is actually a cheated on.
It's not going down.
I'm not gonna make it a cheated on betrayed, but cheated on most definitely.
One enemy! Fight! Fight! Fight!
Tough.
I know there's a lot of those that have been done, because a lot of the time they're easier to do and a lot more fun to do. But yeah, I do like the idea he gets neglected by Inko and All Might, or it could even be Inko and Hisashi, or just Inko, and he runs away.
Level up! Chie-chan, you're hurt! Get some help!
You see, with that one, I was thinking about it. I mean, I was thinking I could go that route starting off. Yes, rare. But at the same time, it's like, that might be too obvious.
That's some thick skin.
Just one enemy left!
But, like I said, it was an option that I was considering
That's some thick skin.
for cheating. Or for the person cheating on him.
Someone else's turn.
I mean, if you look at my... Yeah, that's true too. That would be... That would be pretty obvious. That wouldn't be an obvious one. I know that a lot of people like to do the Yuraka where Jackal cheated on him and everything. And I do think that was I had that as an option for the Iron Man cheated on Iron Man Deku that I was thinking of. But it's like I only had it as one of the possibilities. If you look at my preview for cheated on Deku, I actually surprised people with it because they're like, oh, you're just gonna have Ochako cheat on him, and I'm like, come on, seriously? You guys know that I do twists and I surprise you with everything, and it's like, wow, you have no faith in me. It's like, you have no faith in me. But no, I surprised people with that.
One enemy! Whoops! It caught you off guard!
If anything, I think people love the line that I did in.
One enemy! Fight! Fight! Fight!
Yeah, that's the main thing. She is really overused for cheated on Deku, as well as cheated on betrayed Dekus.
Amazing!
There's like, but it's like if you look at the part where it's like, if I use Momo as a cheated on, the one that cheated on him, it's like she came from a rich family, he came from a rich family, and she cheated on him. And then if I was to go with the fact that Ochako cheated on him, she came from a poor family, he came from a rich family. So it's like, you have there's reasons why it's thought of those two different scenarios with it. I'm not gonna say what the main reason is, or what would
Wake up!
happen with the aftermath of it, because I don't want to give too many spoilers for a preview that I could be working on. But it's like, I'm just saying, you know, it's like, hey, this is the reason why it's like, hey, these are two possible routes for it, for that type of story. So it's like, if I think of something for a story, it's not just because of the fact that it's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna copy and do what everybody else do. No, there's a reason why I do this stuff. Like, for example, if you look at the Cheated on Deku preview that I put into, okay, I'm pretty sure that you would see what I was going with, what I was working with. And yet, I mean, like, a lot of people were laughing at the fact that in that preview I put in the Kool-Aid Man reference.
There's only one enemy. Go for a first strike.
And it's like I actually worked it into the story of that preview. So it's like, but no, it's like, just know that if I'm thinking about something like that, or if I do it, or if I use something, I'm using it for a reason, I'm doing it for a reason, and everything else. I don't just do it. I don't just do it because everyone else is doing it. And like you said, Deku and Melissa, it's like Ochako has been used up quite a bit. And it's like, wow. What are you gonna do? So, but it's like, am I just gonna ignore the fact that, hey, there's a reason to be like, there's a reason for me to use this and not use it because everyone else has overdone it? That's where it's like you gotta weigh in on stuff and think about stuff, and so it's like, hey, yeah, I know. I mean, like another one for, I mean, like another possible one that I had for the cheated on Iron Man Deku, and this one will surprise you, was actually May. I'm not going to tell you the reason for that one.
I smell 2 enemies. Beat them up.
But it's just like,
That's it, Yosuke. 1 enemy down.
it's like I look at multiple things whenever I'm thinking up a story. Like, I come up with an idea for a theme of it, and it's like, okay, hey, this might work. How can I go about this? And I start drawing up an outline for it and everything else.
That's 1 so far.
Yeah, I couldn't quite beat it.
It got back
So it's like,
up. Hurry and
there you
beat
go. So, but it's like, if I want, so say for example, I want to say get away from the Ochako bit because it's been overdone. It's like, hey, I have options. Why would I choose this? How would this happen? For example, with May, for example, if I was to use May or Melissa, they're both inventors just like Tony Stark was, and they're both innovators just like Tony Stark was, It's like, hey, there's a reason right there. But no, it's just like, hey, just make sure
There
that
are 2 enemies. Hang in there.
it's like what a lot of people don't understand is that I'm constantly thinking of stuff and everything else, so it's like, hey, guess what? Oh, I didn't want to scare you.
One enemy. Fight!
Some thick skin.
But it's like oh, within that thing. Screw it. So I mean, just know that it's like, hey, I'm not. I mean, like, yes, I might get ideas from like other people. Like, for example, with the Neglected Deku, I got inspired to do that by Eraserhead.
There are 3 enemies. Careful!
Yeah, I mean, like, that is true. That would be a lot more funny.
Counting on you. Persona! That's some thick skin.
3 enemies. Let's get through this.
I mean,
Yikes, it's tough.
Two enemies. Charge
but yet,
through
then again, it's like, okay, now you make me want to go into details of it, and it's like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to spoil stuff. It's like, man. Ugh. You're evil, Deku. You're making me want to go through details. And it's like, I don't want to do that because I don't want to spoil. It's like, I don't want to do that. Man.
Someone else's turn.
Yikes, it's tough.
2 enemies left.
Yeah, laugh at me, Deku. Go ahead and laugh at me. You're laughing. I'm kind of torturing myself because, like, I want to give you some more details of the thought process, but then it's like, I don't want to go into details of
Right, beat it.
what I was thinking of because I don't want to spoil it in case I do go through it.
Let's go. Ready or not, here we come.
Ugh, you're evil. You're evil, Deku. You're evil. Yeah, maybe it will, but at the same time, I'm also trying to get the another couple of previews set up right now. So it's like, at the same time, it's like, no. I don't want to work on that one right now.
Yikes, it's tough.
2 enemies.
Granted, I was
Charge
thinking about
through.
working on that one and releasing it, but it's like, at the same time, it's like, ooh, there's 2 more that I want to
Beat them.
release before that.
Yosuke always on the warpath. Keep it going.
So
It's down. Go, good move, Chie-chan.
it's just like normally what I try to do is I try to release
It got back up.
the parts and everything of the like, main stories I'm working on,
Enemy
and then a
reinforcements.
preview of
Hurry
it,
and beat them.
and then a preview that same
Someone
week.
else's turn.
But since I'm working on focusing on part 15, because I don't know how long part 15 is going to be, but I know the point where I'm starting
No
that,
one stands in
and I know the
Sensei's way.
point where I want to end it at.
Ooh, that went well.
You did it, Sensei.
So it's like,
I leveled up.
it's just like, it's like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's like, if you remember where I left off with part 14, it's the very beginning of the USJ. Be a rare one, be a rare one. Oh yes, triple rare.
A rare monster. Beat the stuffing out of it.
I hope I can.
It's not going down.
3 enemies left.
Let's see here, damage on phone.
Come on! Couldn't quite beat it.
So, if you're referring to when it will be released, like I said, I'm hoping I'm normally do the releases on Tuesdays.
Some thick skin.
Couldn't quite beat it.
So, it will be released on Tuesday, unless I hit a snag. In which case, I try my best to keep you guys informed if I do hit a snag.
Yosuke pounded an enemy.
Oh, come on.
2 enemies left.
So, for my YouTube videos, I pretty much use my PS4.
Someone finish it off!
I am able to record videos on my PC.
All right, let's keep going.
I haven't really broadcasted anything on my Xbox in a while. Excuse me. So, and I still haven't figured out how to broadcast with my Switch yet, so. It's like, eh. So if you're wondering what I have, yes, I do have a PlayStation Vita, or a PS Vita. I have a PlayStation 4, an Xbox One. I also still have my Xbox 360 and my PS3.
Someone finish it off!
They are slowly going that way.
Ooh, that went well.
As for when that will happen, I don't know.
Amazing, Sensei.
I mean, I don't see that happening within like the next year. And the reason why I say that, Deku Melissa, is because not everybody has an Xbox Series X or S. I know that Microsoft is slowly trying to phase out the Xbox One. But at the same time, it's like that's their biggest system right now. And it still is their biggest system of what their customers have. The biggest thing with that being is because
Who's fit to go first?
there hasn't been enough
Someone finish it off!
2 enemies.
Xbox
Charge
Series
through 'em.
X or S's to hit the market yet for people to buy.
Keep it going.
And that's for multiple reasons. Initially, when the Xbox Series S and X launched, it was during the time of COVID,
No one stands
or
in
when
Sensei's way.
everybody was scared of COVID. So that kind of hampered the production of them.
Another level for me.
At the same time, what a lot of people were doing was pre-ordering and just pre-ordering up the entire stock. Yeah, like I said, it was slow. It was initially slowed down because of COVID. That's why I mentioned that before, the scalpers and everything. I mean, the scalpers, the production has picked up a bit, but the scalpers is still the next biggest thing.
3 enemies.
I mean, they have been getting rid of those as much as they can.
Attaboy, Yosuke. You're in the zone.
It's tough.
Have I been looking into, like, possibly...
Down. This isn't good.
Up we go.
No. Now that's surprising to me. Scalping with hand sanitizers. Ugh. I don't know what happened with that one. That's news to me.
Go for broke.
Yikes, it's tough.
I mean, like, if you're desperate enough to scalp on hand sanitizers, I wonder what's wrong with you. So it's like, oh, that was okay. Yeah, I can believe it was back during COVID. I mean, like, oh man, I remember how much pain in the butt it was to get toilet paper at my local grocery store. So yeah, I can believe it if it was especially back during COVID. Wow. And $60 a bottle? Ugh. Man.
Chie-chan, you're hurt. Get some help.
That's still not the worst I've seen of scalping, though. The worst, and I mean the absolute worst I've seen of any type of scalping,
Don't get careless.
was...
Turn.
Thank you for that. It's like, a lot of people call me a asshole, but it's nice to know that some people think I'm
3
fun.
enemies left.
But
Only 2.
no, the worst I've seen of scalping was back in 2014. I was actually back home on vacation at the time.
That's it, Yosuke. 1 enemy down.
I'm originally from Ohio, so
Some thick skin.
if you ever lived in
Charge
the
through 'em.
Great Lakes states, like Ohio,
No one
Michigan,
stands in Sensei's
you know
way.
that sometimes there's an algae bloom. And you can't use the water, you can't drink the water depending on how bad it is. So,
Thick skin.
1 enemy.
it's just like, it got so bad that they actually had to call in the National Guard. And distribute water and everything. Well, what a lot of people were doing were that they were going to grocery stores, buying bottled water, any type of water, and selling it for about anywhere from $60 to $100 per pack of water.
I gotta keep up my
And if you were buying individual water bottles, oh yeah, that's true too. People are so freaking out about the gas shortage somewhat like that because of the gas prices. But then again, I blame that on the Democrats. I mean, ugh. I mean, if you think Bidenomics is working, yeah, it ain't.
Yosuke pounded an enemy.
You see, that's the same thing with me. It kind of sucks for me because it's like my sister
One enemy.
works in politics in a sense, so. But she's also a member of the LGBTQ community. Another thing that kind of sucks for my sister and me is, if you heard me earlier in the video, I admitted that I have to identify as a Caucasian. I have to identify as white. But my sister and we found out back when I was 18 that we could have been, that we are possibly of Middle Eastern descent. And I've actually done a family genealogy and ancestry thing, and yeah, we are actually of Middle Eastern descent. I confirmed that back when I was 24. But where was I going with the other one? But back when it was Hillary Clinton versus Trump for president, my sister was part of Team Hillary, and she wanted me to vote for Hillary.
Here to see me. My. Are you the... Oh.
Now,
I wish I'd gotten a better look at you.
you say Hawaiian. Are you talking Hawaiian Islander, Samoan, or the other type of Hawaiian? The white guy Hawaiian.
I go somewhere. Come on.
Because
Three princes.
because it's like, the reason why I asked is because
Two?
yeah, the reason it's like, I mean, it's understandable if you're not sure. The reason why I asked this because
Yay. Yes.
I
she's
met
my
people that
prince.
were saying that they were Hawaiian. Yeah, you see, Samoans are awesome. I actually have an
She
adopted
always
cousin
leads
that's
the
Samoan.
way. She is
Um,
a strong prince.
His mom, I think she's like either my second or my third
Or
cousin.
at least
She adopted him from a couple of friends of hers because they couldn't raise him or anything.
when it
And,
comes down to it, she is just not good enough. She can't take...
Freaking
Yukiko.
I thought it was funny because like I was in Hawaii for my honeymoon, and
in
my
manager
wife was kind
training.
of scared of
I'm sick of all
Samoans,
these
and
things chaining me down.
because she didn't know how to handle them or anything, and I just walked up to him, started talking to him and everything else.
I'm sorry,
And then
that's not true.
I thought it was funny because I introduced myself, and after talking to him for a bit, they're like, "Wait, did you say your last name was this?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
I just want
Is
to
your
go somewhere
cousin's
far away.
name
Anywhere but here.
so and so? I'm not gonna say his name. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's my baby cousin. He was adopted, but that's my baby cousin."
So, I'm
And they're like, "Oh, we're his actual blood-related relatives." I'm like, "Really?" Yeah, we talked to him once in a blue moon and everything else, and he told us a lot about you.
So I sit on my ass, hoping that someday my
Okay. No, that can be somewhat true for Samoans liking spicy foods.
is a no.
I would say that's actually 50-50.
No! You're...
I don't want to say proof of Samoans is in the build, because I've also worked with a Samoan that's like way shorter than me, like they come up to my chest. But I would say the biggest way to know that you're a Samoan is the way that you treat friends and your family. Because the biggest thing with Samoans is family. You mess with the family, you mess with all of us. So that's the biggest thing right there. But no, it's like back to my sister. She was for Team Hillary, and she was expecting me to vote for Hillary. See? Yeah, that's part of it right there too. I mean, it's like
Oh, really? Then I'll make
I mean,
sure
like,
to give you plenty to do.
that's like the main reason why I'm like, you know what, I'm willing to be like, hey, you can be a Samoan, because like knowing Samoans' mentality and how they're normally raised, it's the truth. That's how they normally are. And they are big on family, like my cousin that was adopted. We're big on family. I mean, I was raised to be big on family. You mess with my family, you might as well run. I mean, my oldest niece was almost assaulted in a sense. The severe assaulted. So it's like the guy that did it, or the guy that tried to, was extremely lucky the police were there. Because the guy had to deal with not only myself, but my uncle and my dad. And my mom also had 2 dogs that were very protective of the kids. So, yeah, the guy was lucky.
We're not done yet. Show me this.
You see, that's the biggest thing right there. Oh man. It's like I could stand behind that thought process. It's like, don't hate the person, hate the behavior, and still love the person. But I can honestly say that only up to a certain point. Like, for example, my father. Okay. He was a straight-up abusive alcoholic. The last time I physically saw him was when I was 11. And then the last time I heard or talked to him was when I was 21.
Yosuke's scared!
So it's like, yeah. But anyways, getting back to my sister and the Team Hillary thing, back when it was Hillary versus Trump. She was so upset that Trump won.
Why?
No one's coming! Now's your chance to attack!
And
Yosuke's
so
scared!
she was out where I was at, and I'm like, hey, I'll buy you a bottle of whiskey, a bottle of Jameson and whatnot, and you can drink your woes away. Well, she accused me of voting for Trump. At the time, because she asked if I voted for Hillary, and I'm like, no. With all the thing that was going around with Hillary, no. I don't think Hillary would have made a great leader for the nation. But at the same time, I don't think Trump would have either.
Is this our chance? Gotcha!
You see, that I can agree with you on as well. Now, what a lot of people don't like about Trump is that he's brash.
This isn't good.
He's a very brash, crash individual. I mean, do I like the fact that he somehow found a way to get out of the draft for Vietnam? No. But he is a very smart individual. He knows how to run a business, as well as how to get through taxes, tax laws, and everything else. But he is a very smart individual. I mean, it kind of sucks what happened with January 6th and how they were trying to be like, oh, he instigated it and everything else. When yet, if you watched it live for a speech, actually, he hasn't lost his lawsuit against New York in regards to anything like that.
Yukiko, are you hurt?
Most of his stuff in his case, 80% of the stuff has been dismissed.
No. We understand. Everyone has something they can't show to.
Unfortunately, with some tax laws, with the tax laws that they're trying to do, with that is they are referring to New York state tax laws.
Chie.
In which case,
I was always jealous of you, Yuki. I wanted you. I can't do anything.
I wouldn't
right
doubt
on
if he
my
lied
own.
about it. If he lied about stuff.
I never.
But then again, tell me somebody that hasn't lied about stuff on taxes. I mean, I remember helping people. I remember I helped people file taxes for free one year, and I thought it was funny because I looked at New York State tax laws for that year. I think it was back in 2016, 2017 timeframe. And if you read the way that the New York State tax laws stated stuff, if you were an active duty member of the military living in the barracks, guess what? You shouldn't be getting taxed by New York.
Yes.
By the state of New York.
Tired. You up? Of course.
And that was back in 2017. Because the thing that New York, the state of New York was saying that if you're able to sleep there, do laundry, shower, and cook, if you're able to do those 4 things, you essentially stay in an apartment and you don't owe the state of New York any tax.
But my memories
So,
are blur. I can't remember.
If
who
you
it
were an
was.
active duty member of the military, guess
sorry.
what you could do in barracks?
No new clues.
You can cook, do laundry, sleep, shower. So it's like,
really isn't, you guys.
see, I don't know about that. I haven't read anything about that, so I couldn't weigh in on that. I couldn't weigh in on that. I mean, like,
Thank.
and then again, that could just be for the state of New York or New York City. I don't know if this being a federal case or not. Last time I heard it wasn't.
Crowded here. Why don't you and I go somewhere else?
Yeah, I'll try to take a look at it.
Pretty please.
But but it's like I lost so much. I'll be honest. I probably lost track of it because of the other stuff with January 6th and everything.
You're not. No.
Because I mean, like, back when the
I'm sorry.
election stuff with
I don't remember
Biden
anything.
happened,
Well, no worries.
he was trying to get like the Supreme Court to take
But there's no
take a look at it and
I think
everything,
the one we
as
saw on the
well as the
Midnight Channel, maybe the
recounts.
things Yukiko-san
And
was
then there was a
suppressing
lot
in
of stuff coming out with the recounts as well with that.
No.
Like people saying that people were purposely miscounting and everything like that. In which case, do I know if that's true or not? No, I don't. I'll admit it. I don't know if that's 100% true or not. Could there have been something going on with
Can't we
the
talk more
electronic
about this
ballot
some other
machines? Yeah, there could have been. I don't know. I don't. Like I said, I wasn't there. I don't know.
Yukiko.
But do I think that there should have been most definitely more done with...
We'll talk about all this some more once she gets her strength.
Hey, hi Blake, how's it going? Do I think that there should have been most definitely more done with the recount stuff and more looked into for the Biden-Trump election back in 2021? Or 2020? I think it was 2020, 2021. Yeah, I do. Most definitely. That's good to hear, Blake. And that's because I was there when it was Bush versus Al Gore for president. And I saw Al Gore raise a big fuss about the recounts in Florida and everything.
Nice.
So,
Oh, they
but
found
at the same time, when January 6th happened, people were trying to say, "Oh, Trump incited it." I remember watching Trump's speech live that day.
Yeah, for us on the force too.
People were trying to say, "Hey, Trump incited it by stating simply going there hard and whatnot." Well, he did say go there hard, show them you mean business and whatnot, but do it peacefully. He did say that.
But we were and it's up.
And it's like, really?
Stop. Sorry.
That's why when it's like I
Ignore
see
it.
some people
Just
showing like a
spouting
PBS
some
video, it's
wild
like, it's
facts.
funny because I watch it on PBS. And it's like, this isn't the original video, this is slightly edited. But,
Yeah,
and then people try to say that he mishandled the COVID stuff improperly.
So you do.
Well, I say that he could have handled it better,
you should do the
yes.
same.
He could have handled it way better than what he initially did. But at the same time, I also understand why he was trying to say people need to calm down. It's not that big of a deal, da da da. He was just trying to keep people calm. That's all he was trying to do. But okay, so I'm going to end the video here, folks. So Blake Wedding, I know you just joined in. I apologize if you just joined in and whatnot. Feel free to rewatch the video from the beginning. Deku, Melissa, same thing with you. The Deku Monster one, I think that is what it's called. The game is actually, this game is actually Persona 4 Golden. I'm currently playing it on the PS4. It's a brand new game. Well, the game's not brand new, but a brand new playthrough. No new game plus and whatnot. But I'd say the reasons why I'm playing this and why going through and showing some stuff on Persona 4 Golden earlier in the video. If you do like it, I do recommend you get it. Or if you like what you see of it, I do recommend you get it. But at the same time, it's like I also understand, because it's like there's games coming out, like for example Sword Art Online Last Recollection coming out on the 6th, and then next month there's another Persona game, and then you might want to pre-order Persona 3 Reload coming out in February of next year. So with that being said, thank you for joining me, guys. Deku Melissa, it was good talking to you. Like Wedding, again, sorry I'm ending it this soon after you just got in. Deku Monster. Is that one of my videos that you're talking about, Blake? No, I don't remember doing a Deku Monster one. But again, if you just joined the broadcast, I apologize, but it's been about 2.5 hours here on this. I need to get back to working on part 15. Oh, Deku Oni. Is that the one you're talking about? Neglected Deku Oni Musha, Blake? Okay. Yeah, I need to get back to working on part 15 for that. I'll be honest, I barely started working on it today. And that's mainly because, like, you know what, I started seeing some comments about something I said in the end of part 13. I did go over that a bit early in the video, but I'll do that here again for you guys real quick. So at the end of part 13, I said that the DNA sample that they used to create the Nomu, or part of the Nomu, or some of the DNA sample that they used to create the Nomu for the USJ, came from the aborted fetus or embryo of Inko and Izuku back when Inko was doing stuff with abusing Izuku. Well, what a lot of people misconstrued that as was that I was saying that the Nomu was the aborted child of Inko and Izuku. No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying that they were using the aborted fetus or the embryo as a DNA sample. Okay, so the idea that I got that from was because if you look up stem cell research, what do they use for stem cell research? They use embryos as well as aborted, I want to say aborted fetuses, don't quote me on that, but they use embryos for stem cell research. So it's like, that's where I got the idea that, hey, Dr. Garaki found this aborted child from Inko. They don't know necessarily who the father is, but it's like, hey, he liked the DNA that was coming off of it and everything else, so he decided to take the DNA from the aborted fetus and apply it to the Nomu. That's what I was trying to get at. Because if you look back at canon with the USJ Nomu and canon, it was actually an amalgamation of experimentation with multiple DNA strands but they were able to detect who the person was originally, identify them because of the base DNA of that individual. Blake, it's fine. I understand. Trust me, I've been through enough painkiller medications. I can understand. Ugh. But it's like, oh, you're on part 3 now. Ooh. Well, I do know that there have been some parts that I know they are pretty long. Like, for example, if I didn't break up the grand opening stuff into 2 or 3 parts, yeah. That would have been easily 2.5 to 4 hours long for one part. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad I was able to break it up into 2 or 3 parts. So hopefully you guys enjoy the gameplay video and everything else. It was nice chatting to you all. It was nice doing some of the current event stuff. Talking about it real quick. I noticed that during the time I was doing that, a lot of people going in and out. It's fine. It's understandable. And again, I'm sorry. I know, for example, Blake just got in here. I know somebody else just got in here. And Deku, Melissa, I'll probably catch you on the flip side once I do this again. So, keep safe, stay calm, chive on. Catch you later, Firebird Nation.